Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Just ahead of 6:30 on this Friday, will he or won't he? There's speculation among political watchers over whether President Trump will meet with Russian President Putin in Vietnam. Coming up, what the White House is saying about the two leaders actually getting together.
And Montana takes new steps to getting a life-saving drug overdose antidote to first responders. Coming up, how the new program will work.
Good morning, Southwest Montana. On this Friday, Chet Lehman, Missy O'Malley with you. Our top national and international story this morning. President Trump is in Vietnam this morning as he continues his 12-day trip to Asia. He's attending the Asia-Pacific Economic Forum.
But the question of the week is, will he or won't he be meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is also there? Stephen Portnoy is in Vietnam following the president.
One lingering question was answered as President Trump touched down in Vietnam, the fourth stop on his Asian tour. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders on board Air Force One said the president is not scheduled to meet with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin, though, says the two leaders will meet on the sidelines one way or another.
There's no formal meeting or anything scheduled for them. Now, they're going to be in the same place. Are they going to bump into each other and say hello? Certainly possible and likely, but in terms of a scheduled formal meeting, there's not one on the calendar.
The president is attending the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC summit. He urged business leaders in the region to help push back against North Korea's nuclear ambitions.
The future of this region and its beautiful people must not be held hostage to a dictator's twisted fantasies of violent conquest and nuclear blackmail.
The president also spoke trade, and again, as he did earlier in the week in China, blamed his predecessors, not other nations, for unfair deals.
From this day forward, we will compete on a fair and equal basis. We are not going to let the United States be taken advantage of anymore.
The president went on to say countries that abide by the rules of the World Trade Organization may partner with the U.S., and those that don't will no longer be tolerated. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, traveling with the president in Da Nang, Vietnam.
Now, the First Lady Melania is wrapping up her trip to Asia. She stayed behind one more day in China to visit the Beijing Zoo and the Great Wall before heading back to the United States.
Yeah, she will be participating in Veterans Day ceremonies tomorrow at the nation's capital, so that's why she's returning.
Fabulous.
There you go.
Fabulous, fabulous. Talking a little bit about this fabulous sunshine and this wonderful heat wave we've got coming. Or wait, sorry, maybe that's in Phoenix.
Yeah, I was sitting here going, wait a minute, what are we talking about? It is trying to warm up. That I'll give you. We will have some sunshine. That I will give you.
Okay.
Heat wave, yeah, 14. It's a heat wave out there, folks.
Kids say so.
One thing I want to caution people, yesterday we had a lot of melting. This morning there's a little ice as a result of that. So speaking from experience, stepping out of the car, use a little extra caution. It is slick out there in a few areas. I did not fall down, by the way. I just skidded across.
Oh, that's how it went. Yeah, okay.
Temperatures into the mid to upper 30s today. The clouds will be on the increase. We do have the potential of some showers, especially as you get into the evening hours across parts of western Montana. We are talking the potential of snow. I don't think that it's too much. We'll tell you how much coming up here in just a few minutes out on the Billion Auto Weather Patio.
Thank you, Matt. Now 6:32 on this Friday. A well-known name in local auto circles has passed away. According to the Doc and Nelson Funeral Service, Dave Ressler, who was 61 years old, died Tuesday in Salt Lake City, Utah. Ressler owned 5 auto dealerships in Gallatin County. Those included Ressler Motors, Bozeman Toyota, Gallatin Motor Company, Ressler of Belgrade, and Four Corners Auto. He started in the auto business by becoming manager of a dealership at age 26 in Mandan, North Dakota. Sold that business when he moved to Bozeman. Ressler was an avid Corvette collector. He's seen here in 2015 with a new Corvette as it arrived at his dealership on Huffine Lane. Collector Corvette says Ressler always had a passion for cars. He started buying and fixing up cars as a teenager. Later, he amassed a collection of 55 Corvettes, which are housed in a private museum in North Dakota. Back in 2006, Ressler purchased perhaps the most coveted Corvette of all, a 1953 Blue Flame. It is the oldest Corvette in existence and just the third one ever made. His collection also includes all 5 of the official Indianapolis 500 pace cars, most of which have fewer than 10 miles on the odometer. On his museum website, Ressler said he hoped to one day open a Corvette museum in Bozeman. He was also known as a generous supporter of community projects, foundations, and agencies for those in need. Dr. Nelson says a celebration of life will be held for wrestler on Friday, November 17th, 4 p.m. at Grace Bible Church in Bozeman. A reception will follow the Strand Union Building on the MSU campus. Also in other headlines this morning, Governor Steve Bullock says a new effort and resources to combat opioid overdoses will start immediately here in Montana. Under a new law passed by the 2017 legislature, there is now broad access to the opioid overdose reversal drug naloxone. The drug, when administered during an overdose, blocks the effects of heroin and opioids, restoring breathing and preventing death. The new law allows trained first responders, public health professionals, and others to carry and administer naloxone. Lewis and Clark County Sheriff Leo Dutton said this new law will help tremendously when responding to emergency situations.
Too many of our friends, our neighbors, our family members are personally impacted by this opioid epidemic, and too many lives have sadly abruptly ended.
According to the state, there have been more than 700 deaths from opioid overdose in Montana since 2000, including 15 in youth under the age of 18. A second bill passed by the legislature allows emergency use of naloxone in schools.
In other news, on your Friday morning, Montana Tech in Butte is paying close attention to the state's budget negotiations in Helena, since the decision will affect higher education across the state. University officials are interested to see if the state legislature will cut 10% of the state's budget or go with the 1% of Governor Steve Bullock's proposed budget. Now, when it meets on Monday in Helena, Tech Chancellor Don Blackketter said 10% of that cut would require the university to dip into its reserve funds for 2018 and leave some unfilled faculty and staff positions as well.
Also, Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks confirmed it is investigating a poaching of a mule deer in Butte. The 5x5 point buck was shot sometime Saturday evening near the Granite Mountain Memorial, and a tip led investigators to a suspect, but so far no charges have been filed. The carcass has been confiscated, and officials are scoring the antlers to determine restitution before a charge is filed. The deer killed was part of a pit herd that is often seen in the area of the Berkeley Pit.
And Thanksgiving and Christmas are right around the corner, and if you are flying to your destination, the TSA has stepped up its regulations for the holiday season.
Making sure that packages aren't wrapped is a good idea because occasionally they have to be inspected further, and just having a good overall anticipation of what's going to happen at the checkpoint. And most importantly, from the airport side, we always recommend getting to the airport early to accommodate for any unforeseen delays that might happen.
Now, in Bozeman, TSA spokesperson Mark Howell tells us that more intense screening procedures are in place for carry-on bags at most airports, and this will be in all airports by the beginning of December. New procedures were announced earlier this week and will require travelers to put electronics larger than cell phones into bins for X-ray screenings. This applies to standard lines only, not just TSA pre-check customers.
Staying on topic, the Bozeman Yellowstone International Airport opened up bidding yesterday for its new parking deck. Gallatin Airport Authority began utility and roadway construction on the east side of the terminal back in September to prepare the site for construction of a 4-story, 1,100 stall multi-use parking garage. Project is estimated to cost $30 million. 85% of the parking garage will be occupied by the 7 car rental companies operating in the terminal. The remaining 15% will be space reserved for premium pay parking.
We opened our bids today, and the bids were taken under advisement by the airport board. And so assuming everything goes well, we will award a contract for the construction of the parking garage here shortly. And overall, it's about a 430,000 square foot structure on 4 levels with about 1,100 parking stalls.
Now, the project will be funded through a combination of rental car charges and airport capital improvement money, which comes from ticket fees. Project is expected to take approximately 18 months and be complete by the summer of 2019.
And U.S. Senator John Tester introduced a new bill yesterday to help Butte construct a Southwest Montana veterans home. The bill will reform the VA's veteran home priority list to give states like Montana an opportunity to secure funding for a veterans home. Tester's bill guarantees the project within the VA's state home construction grant program, like the Southwest Montana Veterans Home, will not be bypassed on the VA's priority list unless there are immediate safety concerns elsewhere. The VA's priority list ranks veteran home projects every year based on the state's total population. Tester's bill is co-sponsored by Republican Senator Dean Heller from Nevada. In addition to Southwest Montana's Veterans Home proposal, Montana currently has 2 veterans homes in Columbia Falls as well as Glendive.
Oh, you gotta love that. Students at Gallatin Gateway School had a chance to honor veterans yesterday with their annual Veterans Day Assembly. Members of all the armed forces listened to kids sing patriotic songs and receive handmade tokens of appreciation. While the assembly is special to the kids, for the veterans in attendance, it holds a completely different meaning.
Those of us here in front of them are blessed because we are here, but we represent our brothers and sisters who didn't make it back.
Now, after the assembly, veterans were treated to muffins and cinnamon rolls as kids visited with the veterans and thanked them personally for their service.
That's
so cool. I know, I love that.
Love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Good stuff.
I love the fact that the younger generation is getting the importance of.
Must not forget.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, while we need to clean ourselves up here, stay with us on this Friday morning. Up next, our own meteorologist Matt Elwell catches up with our friends and the snow pros at the Avalanche Center to fill us in on the dangers of this first major snowfall of the season.
But first, sending it to Gail King in New York for a look at what's coming up at 7 o'clock on CBS This Morning.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS This Morning, one of the New York Times reporters who broke the story on sexual misconduct allegations against Louis C.K. is in Studio 57. And astronaut Peggy Whitson's first national TV appearance in setting a U.S. record for space travel will bring you a note to her younger self. Listen to this. She started it while in orbit. She finished it back here on Earth. Yes. We'll see you 7 o'clock on the dot.